The new AP Bruiser item Bloodletter's Curse is looking really strong on a few champs. We've got Axiom Arcanist as a phenomenal new rune on a bunch of picks, and so much more to cover as we bring you guys up to speed with 10 of the most OP new builds and rune pages for patch S1.1. And while you were enjoying your holidays in December, our top 10 challenger player Strompist was grinding the PvE with one goal in mind: to craft the ultimate Season 15 starter course on SkillCapped. Instead of just explaining the patch changes, we dive straight into how to exploit everything that's broken, from pinpointing the most busted new champion interactions to revealing which objectives truly matter now, which runes are worth taking and which are total bait, and so much more. While everyone in your games is still figuring things out, you'll be way ahead with insider knowledge only a top challenger can provide. So if you're ready to smurf your placement games, check out SkillCapped right now. With our money back guarantees, there's zero risk, just a massive head start on Season 15. So one of the best users of the brand new item added to the game called Bloodletter's Curse is Singed. Singed loves the item because he now has access to a magic pen option that actually synergizes with how he wants to play. Other pen options like Void Staff and Crypt Bloom are just not great on Singed because they don't offer up any sort of durability. Bloodletters provides health and ability haste, which helps Singed in those extended fights where he really thrives. So where should you be looking to slot in Bloodletters on Singed then? Right now it's looking like a really strong second purchase in tandem with Liandry's. The Liandry's into Bloodletters combo currently has the highest win rate for any 2-item core on Singed. Third item to round out the core really depends on the game, but Rylai's is one of the better options. Rune page for Singed consists of Conqueror with Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand, while Nimbus Cloak and Celerity are for secondaries. There's a new rune page that you need to be running on your Kennen to start this new season. Axiom Arcanist, which is the new rune in the sorcery tree that replaced Nullifying Orb, is the perfect rune for Kennen. So far, Arcanist is heavily outperforming the alternative option in Nimbus Cloak. However, the majority of Kennen players are still running Nimbus Cloak. Arcanist works amazing on Kennen because he loves everything that it has to offer. The first part of the rune provides your R with bonus damage, and then the second part reduces your R cooldown whenever you get takedowns. It's honestly kind of a loaded rune, and for such an ultimate reliant champion like Kennen, it has been the perfect addition for him. So this is what your complete rune page should be looking like, as you take Airy with Axiom Arcanist, Transcendence, and Scorch, while Taste of Blood and Ultimate Hunter are for secondaries. By running Arcanist in combination with Ultimate Hunter, you just get that Kennen R on such a short cooldown, which feels amazing. For the build on Kennen, it's going to be a Rocket Belt Rush into Shadowflame second and Rabadon's third. The perfect Fiddlesticks rune has been added into the game for this season, and it's the new one in the domination tree called Sixth Sense. The biggest issue that Fiddle can run into is if he's sitting on a ward in a brush and can't use his R without the enemy team spotting him. Well, Sixth Sense comes in and helps to eliminate this completely, as the rune will tell you if you are sitting on a ward or not. With how Fiddle's passive works, he's not actually able to swap to his sweep or trinket, so sometimes it's difficult to know if you're sitting on vision or not. Sixth Sense acts very much like a sweeper, however you don't need to activate it. As long as the rune is off cooldown, you will be notified if you run into an enemy ward. So overall, with the addition of Sixth Sense, Fiddle is able to get so much more value out of his kit, as there's less times in the game where you'll just be sitting on a ward without knowing it and wasting your time. It's actually not even just Sixth Sense that has provided Fiddle with more power for this season, as Axiom Arcanist is also incredibly powerful on him. More damage on R and a lesser cooldown on R is amazing for Fiddle, so the champ is a very powerful rune page to start off S1.1. Here's what the full page is looking like as you grab Electrocute with Sudden Impact, Sixth Sense, and Ultimate Hunter, while Axiom Arcanist and Transcendence are for secondaries. For the build, it's going to be a Malignance Rush into Liandry's second and Zanya's third. A jungler who's really strong with the new offensive 2-item core to kick off the new season is Amumu. Bloodletter's Curse slots in really well on Amumu and provides him with a nasty 2-item core in combination with Liandry's. The extended fight strength is just incredible with these 2 items because both of them have ramping effects the longer you're in combat. What ties the build together and slotting in third will be Abyssal Mask. Abyssal Mask is going to reduce enemies' magic resist by 30%, while passive from Bloodletters eventually ramps up to do the same, so you'll be absolutely shredding the enemy's magic resist with this core. If your team comp is quite heavy AP and the enemy team is stacking magic resist, then this is most definitely the build you want to be running on Amumu. Rune page to go along with the build is Conqueror with Triumph, Haste, and Last Stand, while Cheap Shot and Ultimate Hunter are for secondaries. As if Lux R cooldown wasn't already short enough, Lux mains are eating well to start off the new season as Axiom Arcanist is excelling on the champ. We noted in the tier list for S1.1 that we were unsure as to whether Arcanist would end up providing more net value than Mana Flow Band. However, it's looking like, at least for Lux in specific, that it is. Sample size is pretty low right now, but at the time of making this video, in over 2,000 Arcanist Lux games, the rune has a 55% win rate. Mana Flow Band has been played in 17,000 games and has a 52% win rate, so it's a 3% difference there, which is quite significant. This rune combo of Arcanist and Ultimate Hunter is super strong right now for R-reliant champions, and with Lux, her R cooldown is already relatively short, so if you're picking up multiple takedowns in a teamfight, the spell will be back up in no time due to the Arcanist rune. This is what your complete rune page should consist of, as it's Comet with Arcanist, Transcendence, and Scorch, while Cheap Shot and Ultimate Hunter are for secondaries. For the build on Lux, it's standard stuff with Eluden's Rush into Storm Surge 2nd and Rabadon's 3rd. We've covered a top laner and a jungler who are really good with the new item Bloodletters, while one mid lane champ who you need to be running it on is Swain. The most popular 3-item core for Swain right now consists of going Rylai's into Winter's Approach and Liandry's. However, you want to be swapping out the Liandry's for Bloodletters in specific situations. Liandry's gets a lot of its value from its percent health damage, while Bloodletters gets its value from its magic resist shred. Both items are really good third pickups, but most of the time, one is going to be better than the other based on the enemy team comp. If you're in a game where the enemy comp has a ton of health, but they are stacking armor and don't have much magic resist, Liandry's is going to be the play. Vice versa, if you're playing against a comp who's stacking a ton of magic resist, then siding with Bloodletters makes a lot more sense. So overall, you've just got another option now for Swain that will help you adapt to the game in hand and perform better against comps that are stacking magic resist. Swain is another one of those champs who actually gets to benefit from more than one change this season, as he's also really good with Axiom Arcanist. The best rune page for Swain has him going Airy with Arcanist, Transcendence, and Scorch, while Presence of Mind and Last Stand are for secondaries. This new Jinx build has been around for a patch now, but if you are just coming back to League for the start of the new season, then it will be completely new to you, so we want to highlight it in this video as it's really unique. Instead of running a standard ADC build, what a lot of Jinx players have transitioned to is taking Hullbreaker as a core item. It's a Kraken with Hullbreaker 2-item core, and both items have passives that deal bonus damage after getting off multiple autos. With Kraken, you need 3 to proc its passive, and with Hullbreaker, you need 5, so the build is going to provide the most value for you in those extended fights. The big draw to running Hullbreaker on ADCs right now is the fact it provides both health and movement speed. 500 health is massive and will feel really nice when you're playing into an enemy comp with heavy burst. This is where Hullbreaker will be most optimal, as you can still run a standard crit build on Jinx. However, Hullbreaker will slot in amazing to help counter a comp that just wants to dive in and burst you out. After all, building crit on Jinx does not matter at all if you're just going to get one shot in every fight before you can even deal any damage. So the idea behind Hullbreaker is that you can survive for longer and in the end actually output more value than if you were to go crit. The rune page for Jinx is going to consist of Lethal Tempo with Presence of Mind, Alacrity, and Cutdown, while Free Boots and Biscuits are for secondaries. When theory crafting which champs would be strong with the new Axiom Arcanist rune, it was more so mages that we thought would thrive with it, but there's one ADC who's excelling right now, and that champ is Twitch. Twitch is an ADC who's just so reliant on having his R available in order to heavily impact team fights, so it makes a lot of sense that Arcanist is performing very well on him. The most popular secondary rune setup on Twitch has him going Sudden Impact with Ultimate Hunter, but Axiom Arcanist has been outperforming it so far. It's going to be a scaling secondary page that you look to run on Twitch, as you will grab Arcanist in combination with Gathering Storm. This will make your mid to late game teamfight impact much better with Twitch, which is where the champ really tends to thrive, so you're just bolstering that even further. For the full rune page, it's going to be Press the Attack with Presence of Mind, Alacrity, and Cutdown, followed by Arcanist and Gathering Storm for secondaries. For the build on Twitch right now, you can rush the Collector when playing into squishier comps, while Blade of the Ruined King rush is better into health stackers. Hurricane and Infinity Edge are staple second and third pickups. With the rune changes to the second row of the domination tree, Poppy support as a new rune page for this season, and we now know what's the strongest option. It's quite interesting right now because even though most Poppy support players are running Sixth Sense and Deep Ward, it's Grizzly Mementos that is heavily outperforming both. With Grizzly Mementos, you reduce your trinket cooldown every time that you get a takedown, so this means your sweeper is going to be available for you more often so you can control vision better. Currently, the stats behind each rune are as follows. Sixth Sense Poppy players are sitting around 51% win rate, Deep Ward users are at 52%, while Grizzly Mementos users are way up at 54%. As to why Grizzly is outperforming right now is likely due to the consistent value that it's going to bring each game. Deep Ward is a bit of a hit or miss because if you can't actually walk into the enemy's jungle and place wards, then you're not getting any value out of the rune at all. Sixth Sense, on the other hand, has a very long cooldown, so you're not getting a ton of consistent use out of it throughout the game. So here is what the full rune page that you should be taking on Poppy looks like, as it's Halo Blades with Sudden Impact, Grizzly Mementos, and Relentless Hunter, followed by Hex Flash and Cosmic Insight for secondaries. The build revolves around a Dead Man's Plate rush with Locket second, while Bloodsong is the item upgrade. A bit of an off-meta champ who has seen a big play rate spike in the support role for S1.1 is Elise. Elise support now has around a 2% play rate in ranks Emerald and above, while holding a very respectable win rate above 50% as well. It's the exact same skill order that you would run as jungle, with Q max first into W second and E last. Something that has made Elise a little bit stronger here for this new season is the fact that securing first blood for your team is more valuable due to the feats of strength objective. Elise has one of the best invades due to her E, so you can be looking to invade every game and pick up that first blood objective for your team. With your jungle Elise, it feels really bad for your clear if you take E at level 1 and invade, but with support, it's not as big of a deal. The level 3 all-in power of Elise is incredibly deadly as well, and you can easily set up dive plays with your jungler healer, so there's just way more value to the Elise support pick now that First Blood has become a key objective. Matchup-wise for Elise support, she fares very well against most melee engaged supports, but can struggle more into range. Elise Q cooldown is only 6 seconds, so when playing into a melee support, you can really abuse that short cooldown to poke out either the enemy ADC or support early on in lane. For the build, you'll be taking Bloodsong as the item upgrade, as it works great with Elise, since she needs to be auto-attacking to be most effective when looking for an all-in. Storm Surge will be the first core item, and then Shadow Flame is what you'll pick up second. In regards to the rune page, it will be Dark Harvest with Sudden Impact, Sixth Sense, and Treasure Hunter, while Triumph and Coup de Grace are for secondaries. Alright guys, don't forget to check out our brand new Season 15 starter course at SkillCapped if you want to get way ahead in the new season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.